Welcome to the Resilient AF podcast. I'm Alex Fresh.
And I'm BennettKnows. We believe everything vibrates at a certain frequency, and we're here to raise the vibration.
You'll hear stories of resilience, manifestation, and what to do when you find that even resilience has a toll. Because a bitch is tired, honey.
Welcome to the podcast.
We're here. We're doing it.
We have to go.
Somehow in Retrograde. And the fucking eclipse is happening in like an hour and a half.
Wait, it is?
It's this morning at like 10:30. It's going to peak here.
So what's going to happen during the eclipse?
Holy shit.
Could you look at it?
You can if you want. It'd be bright. Because when you're here in Washington, it's not going to cover even like half of it. The moon is not going to cover half of the sun. So if you look at it, it's going to be still really bright.
It's like 15% or 35%, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But if
For
you're
how
like
long?
in the Northeast, for like an hour and a half. But
Okay.
if you're in the Northeast, it'll cover it like fully. Or like in Texas areas, up.
New York.
Wow.
It'll cover it fully. You can look at it. That would be dope. I wish I lived
look at
there.
it?
You can look at it.
Would you
It
look
covers
at
it.
it?
I would, yeah.
Yeah.
But the eclipse is massive change.
Yes. What kind of change? Because I feel like for the last like week, I've been in like the biggest mood.
It's been crazy energy, annoying, aggressive.
Yes.
And Aries season, hi. Bro, I feel like that has to do with it. But the
Gross.
eclipse is insane. A new moon. And just a lot of change. You know, change that has to happen.
I read something
Death and rebirth.
like the last eclipse. When did it happen? Like 7 years ago?
No, I mean, eclipses happen all the time.
Well,
But
there was
they happen all the time?
What's that one?
Where the fuck have I been?
Like the blackout. That was like 7 years ago. that you're
Yeah.
talking about.
The total
Yeah.
blackout.
That's an eclipse, right?
Yeah, that was a total eclipse.
Yeah,
So
so-
there's solar and there's lunar.
Yeah, I read something that around these times, if you look back in your life, you could see all the massive change in your life. Like the last time
Yes.
you were changing. So think about the last time that there was an eclipse and where
There's
you were
partial
in
eclipses.
life.
Yeah, and it has been really crazy. It's been testing.
I feel
Oh,
like we just had
gosh.
a Mercury retrograde.
Well, it happens 3 times a year.
Yeah.
And they're 3 weeks each. That doesn't even count the pre and post shadows, which is 2 weeks each. Pre and post. 7 weeks total, 3 times a year.
Right over.
Right.
21 weeks out of the year. It's
So
a
you're
lot.
really always in Mercury retrograde.
always-
Yeah.
Mercury's in the microwave again. Or lemonade, whatever the fuck you guys
And
say.
shit's always
say.
fucking up.
It really is.
Like all of these electronics.
And communication. It's so obnoxious. It could be communication, like you're talking to your partner and you'll say something and they'll take it a different way than you mean. Or you guys could actually both thinking you're on the same page and not be at all. It happens all the time during Mercury retrograde because communication gets so fucked up. It's insane.
Yeah. Mine started with my phone getting fucked up.
Yeah.
I didn't have
my
service
God.
for a whole day.
Yeah, and then he calls and bitches and he gets a $50 credit and then he spends like an hour and a half trying to get the credit and then they text him afterwards and how much was the credit.
They're like, thank you for calling us. Here's your $25 credit. And she was there. She heard the whole thing. I'm like, you know what? Like, this
I'm
is
like, wow.
ridiculous.
Did you call back?
Honestly, I'm not going to. That's like, oh,
$25.
I mean, $50 is $50.
But it was insane. Like it was always $50 and then all of a sudden he gets a text saying, here's
it's
your
$25. And then they were like, we don't see it in our notes. Could you tell us what day it happened? Yeah, because I was bitching on this day. So I went to the text messages and I'm like, it's on this day. And they're like, oh, we see that now.
after an hour and a
Fuck
half.
you, Verizon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so-
I was like, do you know how much money they're paying her to be on this phone call? Like, she could have just been like, here's your $50 credit right at the beginning
Period.
of the call.
But it's about the principle too. Plus, you already wasted all of my time that day. You know,
Yes.
it was terrible. Maybe it is time to change to T-Mobile.
Just don't do it.
Maybe.
No,
You
back up,
okay? So
back
what do you
up.
have? You have T-Mobile?
I have T-Mobile. I switched from AT&T to T-Mobile, and I hate T-Mobile.
Oh my.
Yes. And when I had T-Mobile, I did not like it at all.
Every T-Mobile person's like, oh my God, they've changed. It's better. Stop looking at me.
What? Why don't
No.
you like T-Mobile? What is
I
it
feel
about?
like
The coverage
Verizon and
sucks.
AT&T is
Because you
better.
live in the boonies. I don't agree with you.
I don't like
It's not that
T-Mobile
good.
sucks for you because it knows you hate
T-Mobile
it.
didn't pay me $100,000 a year.
I wouldn't be tooting their horn if they weren't worth it. I mean, they sucked before 2013.
They were
They
horrible.
started getting a lot better
Yeah.
around that
That's
time.
what everybody says.
And-
I'll say it is better than what it was.
Yeah.
'Cause I had it before,
They're
so it
leading
is
the
better.
industry.
Are they
Because
really?
they bought Sprint out and everybody else.
Oh
No
my
shit.
God, here we go.
So if you don't lead the industry, you just buy the competitor, and then now
Oh
you're.
God.
The only reason why T-Mobile works out here is because of like the headquarters is
Yeah, they're
right
headquartered
there.
out here.
Yeah.
But if you look at the coverage map, what they used to be in like 2013, 14, and what they are now, it's like night and day. And they use other people's towers, they Wi-Fi calling, and they came up with a bunch of shit. Okay, they
Yeah.
came up with the no contracts, and I could go on and on. Their uncarrier moves that they did. They led the industry, and then other companies had to follow suit.
Even during
Okay.
retrograde. Get it together, Verizon.
Don't give a fuck.
Get it together.
Verizon usually is really good. They are above
Usually.
T-Mobile.
And I've been with
Usually.
Verizon for 10 years.
So how long have you been with T-Mobile?
Just over a year now.
Okay, well that's not long at all.
What did-
It gets better with age? It's like, is it a fucking wine?
You should switch to T-Mobile.
I don't know.
You just heard 32 reasons why you
I
should
know.
switch.
And 0 reasons for
And they don't even
Verizon.
pay
Or
me
1.
anymore.
Yeah.
I pay them free advertising. You're welcome, T-Mobile.
Well,
Anyways,
I'll keep you updated.
let's go into our peak and pits.
Yeah, so talking about Mercury retrograde.
By the way,
Yes.
Branden is here. That's who you hear.
Yeah, for part 2.
Part 2, yeah. So if you didn't hear last week, go listen and then catch up. But that's who's, chuckling in the background.
Cackling.
Yeah, so he's going to be here for it.
And he's going to join us for Ask Alex.
And he's going to be doing the second part of our resilience story.
So welcome.
Welcome
Thank
back,
you.
Branden.
Glad to be here. It was fun last time.
Did you want chocolate covered cherry?
No, and I'm good on
What about a
my
blueberry?
Aqua Panana water as well.
That's my aqua panna.
Yeah, that's
Aqua.
Alex's bougie ass. Go Google Aqua Panna water and tell me how
Yeah.
much that is, because that's what Alex's fridge is stocked
He's
with.
been making fun of my bougie water for like the last hour.
It looks like wine. So talking about the Mercury retrograde, shit has been so fucked up this week. But on the other end, I've been like getting so much shit done. Like I've been in the gym every day. I'm like working OD this week. Yeah, I've just been in overdrive, and
OD?
I feel like
Overdrive.
OD. Yeah, overdrive.
Processing
Yeah.
that too. I'm like,
Oh.
over.
Oops, sorry. But yeah, so I feel like that's the other side of the retrograde. Like a lot of times it could fuck up your mood-ish. But yeah, I've been like grinding, and it's
Good.
super exciting. So I guess that's like a peek in a pit. You heard my pits with my phone. I'm going to Aruba this summer, so that is the
Aruba.
peak. That's
is
super
Aruba?
exciting. I don't even know. I think in the Caribbean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun. Who are you going with?
I am going with my bestie, and my bestie's
What? What? I'm not going. What are you talking about?
I have
do you mean?
cheating on you. No, I'm my best friend from home, Jalen.
What's up, Jalen?
We are
Where's
going.
the invite?
Yeah,
You know-
this has to go all the way around, just so you know.
Okay, so like, are we going to
We're
Aruba?
going to Aruba.
No, we're not because we weren't invited, Branden.
You can
Honest-
hear her fucking Mercury retrograde attitude in this already.
But listen, I wasn't invited either. My bestie, she's like, yo, going to Aruba, da, da, da. And I'm like, you're going to Aruba? Yeah, and I'm like, I'm going. And I don't even know who she's going with, and she's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, why not? Like we've never been out of the country together, so like we might as well go.
We've never been anywhere together. I just love how you like always make all these plans and trips in Vegas and Gag City.
You went to
Gag
Gag
City.
City.
In Seattle.
Yeah, but that was still a thing. We'll figure something out.
will
We have
bowling.
we have more shit to celebrate, you know? I'm going to Aruba.
Aruba.
Woo!
I'm gonna start with my peak. Zaz Cannabis and Wellness is hosting this really cute villa on the beach, and there's a few spots left. So if you want to come hang, check out my Instagram at that Dreas because I'll post it on a highlight. But it's gonna be the third week in May.
What kind of are you getting a flyer? Like what's going on?
No, but I'm getting
It's a paper flyer with pull-off tabs.
I'm getting something for my pit.
But what kind of things are you doing on this retreat in
What am I
Tulum?
doing? Oh yeah, so it is.
Sell it, girl.
So I'm a master Reiki healer. If y'all didn't know, that's energy healing. Zaz Wellness and Cannabis. They asked me to come and do Reiki. It's really just to unwind and connect me like-minded people, and I'm super excited for it. But I'm really trying to find this piece of paper for my pit. Okay, I have to find it though, for real. Like,
What is that?
you guys.
You have a letter? What is going on?
I go to this restaurant often when I don't have time in between home and to pick up my son from soccer. Like I'll go to this one restaurant and I'll work often, right? A month ago, there was this guy who was sitting at the bar and he like wouldn't leave me alone. And I was drawing this black eagle. He found me on Instagram and my business number was on my page for Reiki and stuff. He was texting my business number. Blocked immediately on both because wasn't having it. Didn't like it.
Wait,
so-
wait, hold on. Because I did something like this and I said it could come off creepy
Yeah.
or it could come off maybe cute.
It was not cute to me.
Why?
I didn't like him. The vibes, Bennett.
Oh, he's a creepo.
So he didn't have money to pay his bill at this place. He just like wouldn't stop talking to me. I was trying to be nice, but at the same time, I'm like still drawing, not really making eye contact, but he'll just like stand on my table and just talk to me. So then didn't see him after that at all until yesterday.
At this
the
restaurant?
Yeah, at this restaurant. So I walk in and I go over to this table and I sit down and then it's at the bar area and then he comes over and sits next to me. And now I have to act like I'm on a fucking fake phone call. So I'm sitting there at the bar on this fake phone call on my phone because I immediately knew that it was him. And I had blocked him and without even responding at all, period. Didn't respond to one thing. And then he went outside for a second and I'm like, I'm moving. I got up and I moved to this one secluded booth. Dude comes back in, comes and sits down at my table.
At your table?
Oh my God.
This is
And-
giving like a horror movie, like vibes. Now you have this letter in your lap. What the fuck? Okay,
So
you're
he
getting
comes
it.
up to the table, has this piece of paper and 5 Sharpies. And these Sharpies are like Easter colors. He hooks them all on the end of this letter. He's like, don't always color with just black. That's all I was using when he met me the first time. And so I'm not on my phone anymore at this point. I'm texting someone. I wasn't expecting him to come over to my table and sits down. I'm like, oh, hell no. And I have a basket of fries.
Alex loves her fries.
I'm
and
shook.
favorite food. And
Not of the fries.
And he just is a type who will try to act like he has money or try to say things to make himself look really cool. Like, do I think he's listening? I absolutely do. So he just was like, oh yeah, that day I lost my phone. I lost my wallet. I was like trying to figure out who I could call. I just was not having a good day. And I don't know where he goes. So I was way before I knew who you were. And I didn't know if you knew who my ex was or anything at all. And I'm like, okay. Like, I'm not even being remotely nice at this point. Like,
Right.
he probably thinks I'm such a big bitch, but he was asking me out, saying, I know you have an 11-year-old, I have a 13-year-old, I think they'd get along. He was talking about the note that he wrote me. It says, you shouldn't just color with black, and he left his phone number. I lost your number with a purple heart.
Wait, that's his handwriting?
Yeah. So then, you guys, sitting...
I lost your number.
You know, because he had my business number.
Yeah.
But I blocked him. But then he said he deleted my number, that number, right? Because he didn't have my number, my actual number. And he lost his phone, so he didn't even have that number anymore. And I took my number off of my fucking website, you guys. So I'm just sitting there. And then he fucking tries to start eating some of my fries.
Shut the fuck up.
So I fucking slapped his hand. He
yeah.
was ready to fucking pick up a goddamn fry and dip it in my sauce. And I said, don't fucking touch my food. I was pissed. Like, who the fuck does that? You don't know me. I don't know you.
What the fuck?
Oh, and he was trying to say all this stuff about how he has 6 G-Wagons. Like, I give a fuck. Like, do you think that's gonna woe me? You don't obviously know who the fuck I am. So I'm like, hey, I gotta work. Can you please go? And
I'm
he
like,
was
get the fuck up
Yeah.
and move.
He goes back to the bar area. You guys, he comes back, he sits down, and he goes, can I have your hat?
What?
It's giving stalker vibes.
Do not have my hat.
It's like psychopath. That's like something in a horror movie. You
Okay.
shouldn't color with
Then
just black.
He drops a $5 bill on the table, and he writes his son's full name. He goes, that's my son's full name. So
I'm stressed.
to my friend, like, who I've known for a very long time, who works there, I just saw him walk by a few minutes ago. Like, I think he's just out there lurking and waiting for me to walk out. And there's no back way to get out of this restaurant, I asked. So the guy was like, well, I'll walk you to your car. Can you just like poke your head out there and like just make sure he's not lurking around? So he's like, yeah, give me 1 sec. So he comes back and he's like, yeah, it looks like you're good to go. He's not out there. I leave the $5. I tip the dude already on my credit card, but I leave the $5 for him like as like an extra tip. I don't want that shit.
No shit.
And I took the letter. I just didn't want, this is what I didn't want him to see, is if he came back to see that still on the table, because I'm scared. I don't want him to see that I left that there and like stalk me more or whatever. So I took that, but I didn't take the Sharpies or the $5. Then I leave. My friend texts me as soon as pretty much I get to my car. He's like, he's definitely stalking you. He just came back in. And I'm like, oh, to see if I took the shit. So he,
Oh my
and
gosh.
as I was saying, to see if I took the shit, I was gonna say, did he see the stuff that was still on the table? He's like, he walked in and saw the Sharpies and $5 in my hand. Oh no.
I cannot.
So yeah, this guy
Yikes.
is
Like, look at the fucking handwriting. And like the picture, this says so much about somebody with handwriting first off. And then the way that's written, that's what gives me like the grossness.
yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, like the vibe was so off. It was way too much.
You should have just told him back the fuck up. I'm not
I
interested.
did.
But don't be nice.
And then I didn't even, this last time I wasn't at all. And I blocked him. And he goes, do you know that you blocked me?
Yeah,
He's like
I do.
sociopath. There's like narcissistic, and then there's
like
like
the
this
pi-
guy.
Yes.
This
Look
is
at his
scary.
handwriting. Scary movie.
A scary movie
When
or
when
crime
people-
investigation.
When he laid
Alex
that
was
down,
last saw was seen with that.
Right.
he laid it down with the Sharpies on it. And he's like, hi, Alex.
Oh my god.
At what point could you report someone as a stalker? Because you always hear about these stalker situations, either in famous people or when it's too late.
I know.
And that's the thing is like, at what point can you do something? Because if you say something now, they're gonna be like, "Well, are you scared? Is there anything violent?" Well, nothing's really happened, but I'm
Exactly.
uncomfortable.
You can tell.
So
Yeah.
they're not gonna do shit about it
Right.
until it's too late, and that's what's one thing wrong with our
You can
broken
yes,
system.
exactly.
That's what happens. It's like, oh,
All the time.
yeah, and then it's too late. It's like we try to tell you, we try to warn you, and now I'm being harmed, or I've been harmed, or whatever.
And women is like, we are scared to be mean also.
yeah, the repercussion of it all.
They don't have empathy. They don't have sympathy. They don't fucking care. They don't have compassion. They want what they want. It is scary. So yeah, that's my pit because I have to deal with that. But that was fucking weird.
Yeah, that sounds hella sketch. And you saw the girl that just got stabbed.
No.
Yeah, some girl was just on a hiking trail, and this guy, a random fucking guy, up on this trail, and she pulled off to the side because people go up the trail the right away or whatever. So she moved over so this guy can walk up the trail, and he was laughing as he got to her, and she couldn't understand why he was laughing, and he started stabbing her
hell no.
over and over again. And he said, "You're gonna meet your maker," and all this shit.
Did it seem like it was
Creeps.
like he knew her, or was it some random?
It was just a random. That's what they said. It was completely random.
That's scary as
That's
fuck.
what's scary. And then all I could think of is
Yeah,
fucking
and
Mercury.
people call them intrusive thoughts, but it's like anybody who you walk by could stab you at any
Exactly.
time, you know? Like, and I think about shit all the time like that. Or like those people in the haunted houses that have the chainsaws, like a real one coming in.
Fuck that shit.
You know?
I hate going to haunted. You like going to
always
haunted
say
houses?
that.
Everybody's like, "You want to go to a haunted house?"
No, thank you.
I do not want anxiety.
No, thank you.
When we were at the parade,
Yeah, like there could be snipers.
she's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. I
have-
felt that when I was at the Supercross and shit like that. Or you never fucking
that's
know.
so sad. I'd like to think the best in people or like the better in people.
That's the thing. You look for the best, but sometimes,
Right.
like in hindsight,
It could happen. I'm
it's-
like, or
it's
I'm like, it
sketch.
can't happen to me.
Yeah.
So anyhow. So that's a peek and pit.
Okay.
And now we're on to Ask Alex.
What's the brokest thing someone you were dating ever did?
The first person that came to mind was an ex-boyfriend, and he was so broke. He would always say this: "I'm not gonna buy a girl a drink who's just gonna come up like and just expect me to buy a drink because she's a girl." And like he would always like chalk it up to he just thinks it's a bad look that like females do that, but it's really because he's so broke. Because if he had money, he would.
Yeah.
But the way that he would say it and do it, I could just tell. I'm like, damn, buy a girl a drink, like
Yeah,
you
who
know.
hurt you?
Yeah. Like,
'Cause
who
he's broke.
cares?
He didn't
Right.
have money. Why don't
No.
you just tell the truth and be like, I don't buy
Right.
girls drinks because I'm broke,
And
and,
if
I
I-
don't look for another job, and I expect women to pay for my shit. So
Oh.
he also drove around with a crunched up hood because he rear-ended somebody. Like after we were together, he would drive around with like a crunched up Honda hood, and it looked so ghetto.
Oh
and it
my
was so
gosh.
embarrassing. I'm like, okay.
Oh gosh, yeah. Okay, so I linked up with this kid before, right? And it was
Linked up, does that mean hooked up? Does that mean?
No, there was
Okay.
definitely no hookup. Okay,
Okay, I'm glad I clarified because
Okay.
okay.
let's
good.
make that clear. And I think we were gonna have like a picnic or something. Like we were gonna get some food and just like chill out. So we go to the grocery store. We go to the grocery store and we're grabbing our stuff. And he grabs his drinks. I grab some drinks, like, you know. And then I meet him like kind of in the front, but he just walks out the front door.
5-figure discount.
And I'm like, first of all, why the fuck did you not take my stuff? Okay? If you're gonna do all that. And two, why didn't you give me the heads up? I was really thrown off. And what the fuck? I didn't know I was going
my
shopping
God.
with a
Shoplifter?
yeah.
Thief.
I'm dead.
I could have
Bullshit.
just bought it. You know, like it was not that deep.
That's
So
hilarious.
what happened after that? I have to know now. Like,
We ate our shit, and then I never
What
seen
was
him
the
again.
conversation, though?
Again, I
Like-
told him like, why the fuck did you not tell me like you were gonna do that? That's weird.
Are you stoned?
Yeah.
because I need to know more. You're giving me like
Really?
I'm getting like
so,
the tease.
okay,
still.
so like he's outside waiting, obviously in the car with his shit, and I'm like, what
Just
the
eating
fuck?
his chips.
Just eating his motherfucking chips, and I'm like,
Free-ass
what the
chips.
fuck? You stole that shit. Like you
free
didn't, even,
99.
you didn't even tell me. You didn't grab my shit. You didn't give me a heads up. Like you didn't do anything. And if it was that deep, I would have bought it. And he's just like, like laughing, and it's like it's not fucking funny. He'll never see me again, and he never has seen me
So you
again.
guys didn't
Or-
want to date? You didn't? You
no,
that was it?
it's
You
not.
cut
That
it?
was not a date. Like
Oh,
that was a
You guys were just grocery shopping together.
They just linked up. Remember?
That's-
linked up. We were like hanging
I'm so
out.
old. I guess
you
I
know?
don't understand this link up. Like,
I mean, we were hanging out.
What is the brokest thing that someone that you've been dating has done?
besides
Brandon.
maybe take care of all of them.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it. I've been in such real relationships. I guess, God, I don't. So after my ex-wife, as we were splitting up, I was dating this chick. She's a hairstylist. You know, I was like, hell yeah, somebody who has like kind of like money like me finally. Like, and it was cool. Said she had a car and all this shit. Well, then I'd pick her up for the dates, and then I'd take her home, and then we'd pick her up and hang out, and eventually I started staying at her house. Well, for 6 fucking months, A, did she not fucking ever pay for a meal or anything, but I never seen this bitch's car. Ever. Like,
So she didn't have a car.
I don't think she had a car. I don't think she had.
Did she tell you she had one?
Yeah, she has like a Jeep and all this shit. And I was like, oh. So like, I
Wait.
bring it up and I'm like, because we're in an apartment, we're like driving out, and I was like, I'm a car guy. So I'm like, where's your Jeep? And she's like, oh, it just parked over there. Blew it off, but like she never drove to work. She would drive my car to work sometimes.
Oh my gosh. Why did she lie about it? Just say I don't have a fucking car.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow. Don't lie about those
lie
things.
about
You could
stuff
tell the
nobody
truth
cares.
and nobody cares.
Okay, Brandon, summarize last week
starting off from last week, from like the relationship, the childhood, the traumatic, all that shit. You know, all my charges. That was assault 2, assault 3, a DV. It was it's like kidnapping charge or something like that. Pretty much, so I wouldn't let her phone. Like I explained in the last episode. But yeah, so after that, you know, it's been about a week or so, and then her sister, I get a message from her sister's phone, and it's her. And she wants to meet up and talk because she didn't realize the charges that I was getting were so severe. And like, this is her whole world crashing down too. I mean, I'm her bank. I'm her financial backing. Without me,
right.
She's got nothing.
She doesn't work.
Yeah. So we meet up, talk, and she's pretty smart, and she looked up some shit herself and said that she found a loophole, that she gave a statement intoxicated, and the officers accepted that statement. And so she could recant, is what she can do.
Oh, shit.
So she's like, I can recant and your charges will get dropped. And she's like, and she'll get a misdemeanor charge for lying, but usually the victim doesn't get prosecuted. And I was like, okay. So I went and met up with a different attorney, because I had a court-appointed attorney. Talked to him, and he's like, you're fucked if she sticks with this. He's like, the way you look, the way everything is, he's like, you're fucked. That's how it's going to be. So he wanted $10,000. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this. Kept going through it. Me and her up and down. And then we started doing good.
During your visit, you're not back at the house yet, or are you?
Oh no, I'm laying down in the trunk as she's pulling into the garage, shutting the garage door so I can go into my house and sleep, because I wasn't allowed to stay at my mom's house because she didn't trust me. So I had to stay there. And that was a sketchy situation.
Damn.
So you guys are back together after that whole situation.
Yep.
So when did the no contact get dropped? Like,
So,
how long did you guys have to do that for?
After she recanted, 45 minutes of how I'm a cheating piece of shit and she hates my guts and blah, blah, blah. She left, and then she started dating some other guy, and we had big issues. This guy had issue with my past family, and apparently his ex-girlfriend called that guy and was like, you know, so-and-so, that's his little cousin. You're fucking his wife. Like, they're going to fucking kill you when they find out. And I had no idea. And so I'm at the tattoo shop, I already tattooed the next day, and here come these fucking cops roll up to arrest me. Mind you, to back up, I'm living in my own fucking apartment that she took over because she couldn't let me stay by myself. So I get get kicked out of my house. I get an apartment, get kicked out of my apartment. And then I'm back in jail for a no contact break and a Berg 2, and has now been added to my charges.
A what?
A Berg 2,
What's
burglary
that?
2, a strike. So Washington has like 3 strikes, you're out type of thing. And so my assault 2 is a strike, and then my Berg 2 would be a second strike.
Okay.
So I put him back in jail. I'm in there for 11 days, no bail. And then finally I get a judge who's like, it's against his constitutional right to not let him bail out. He's innocent until proven guilty, but your bail is going to be $150,000.
Damn.
This is
Yikes.
3 months after.
So did you do it?
So bailed out on $15,000, and didn't talk to her for like 3 or 4 months, and then she needs saved. And so what do? I save.
It's a toxic cycle.
And this went on for fucking ever. I mean, I'm talking a year and a half. And I had trial. They weren't offering me any plea deals. They were like, nope, you know, you're going to spend 7 to 10 years in prison. She didn't have a fucking mark on her. She didn't have lacerations in her eyes. She didn't have a nick, nothing.
Was she saying what she cut herself?
That wasn't even in the report.
That's ridiculous.
Nothing. There was. I had a fucking split lip when she hit me, and she had nothing. So finally, one night, she was all fucked up on Xannies and drinking, and chased me down on foot. After she got the kids from me, chased me down, wanted me to talk to her. And I didn't want to. And she said she's going to call the cops. Well, eventually she gets a hold of me and she's like, please come find me. I'm fucked up on Xannies and drunk. I want to kill myself. So I go fucking find her like an idiot. And she tells me that she needs to go to the hospital because she's going to kill herself. And so I drive her to the hospital. I drop her off there. I'm bawling my eyes out. Like, how could I make this woman go through this much pain to where she wants to fucking kill herself? Like, if I would have just never done what I did, like, this wouldn't have, you know, like, it's all I could think about. It's like, this is all mine doing. This is my shit. Like, I fucked up. So I'm bawling my eyes out, and then literally she checks out of the hospital a couple hours later, comes picks up her car, like no big deal. But mind you, before that, she was going in for self-harm, and I had trial in 2 days, and I was like, I can't take full custody of the fucking kids, and you do this. And so she fucking wrote my attorney and said that she's sticking to her recantment, and that I have full custody of the kids and all this shit. And and then I got a phone call 2 days later from my attorney. Says, we got some good news and some lightning news for you. I was like, oh yeah.
What?
And he said that they're willing to drop all charges except for the assault to a police officer and a no contact break. And so I was, and yeah, well, and that's what I said, well, can't this all get dropped without prejudice, right? Like, this should be dropped. And he's like, Branden, I've been dealing with you for about a year and a half now. He goes, If she gets out of the hospital and gets a psych evaluation and says that she's okay now, she's mentally well, she can come back in 2-3 years from now and start this all over again. And she goes, so if you plea out to this little bit, this is checkmate. You know, you did your shit. You're admitting to parts of this. And you're out. She can never bring it up again in divorce or anything. And I was like, fuck it. Like, my head's in a vice. What do you do? Like, I don't really have much of a choice.
Right. Because she does seem like the type that would, you know, take advantage of that.
Right.
If she knew. Like, who knows if she knew she couldn't do so. But
oh, very much. So I had a tattoo shop that I found. I was building it up. I borrowed some money from my little brother. I borrowed $10,000 from him. And then I used my tax return and all that shit to invest into this shop. I was so strung out on fucking coke and alcohol every single day. Like, I mean, if I slept, I would wake up and I would fucking wake up and grab my platter from underneath my bed and do a line and go out and drink coffee like it was fucking normal.
For how long?
I did that for about 2 years.
wow.
2 years, strung the fuck out. I was drunk every fucking day. And I got this tattoo shop because that's what I know how to do. I know how to fucking rebuild. Like that's like just programmed into me from having to start over so many times as a kid. Like I just know how to rebuild. Like I hit rock bottom and like boom, bounce. We bounce back up. This is the avenue we're going. This is what we're doing. Found the shop, get the money, get it all going, but I don't have the mentality to do it. All I want to do is fucking snort cocaine and drink. And my home bar is across the street from the shop. So I would leave, get there about 12 o'clock, get drunk, go back over there, snort some lines, work on my shop. And I got this up and going to a point to where we were almost full, like ready to run. I was waiting on licensing and tattoo license, and I got another tattoo artist, and then our city license. And so I was like fucking broke. I was living at my dad's house, renting a house from him, and I wasn't paying him rent. And he gave me an ultimatum: pay me your rent or get the fuck out. This is business.
Yeah.
So I had a choice. I either live in my fucking dad's house with my kids or leave my dad's house, sleep on my mom's couch, and hopefully get this business up and going. So I choose to stay at my mom's house, move to my mom's house, leave my dad's house there, and I don't have money for rent. Talked to the landlord. He gave me a few more days for a grace period. Could not fucking pay it. And instead of trying to figure it out, I was just fucking nose in the bag. So I was just numbing the fuck out the whole time. And then I got this genius fucking idea that what if I sell gift certificates and I just sell enough to pay my fucking rent, and then I can get my shop open and then we can move forward. So I did. I sold maybe $2,000 in gift certificates. You know, I did like a large number. So you bought it for $150, you get a $300 value. I was just at the mercy, like just trying to figure this out.
Right.
That's that hustle from when you were a kid.
And I was doing that. And so I started tattooing a little bit, making it go, but I was still just so fucking deep in the bag. I would stay up till 6, 7, 8 in the morning and I'm like, fuck, I got a tattoo at 11. And then I would just get this anxiety and I would say, fuck it, just keep fucking rolling, you know? And then so I built this reputation of I'm just a fucking flake. You know, you're a piece of shit. You know? And it's just like this hauntingness of my past coming back. You just almost get induced into it, and you're almost like, poor me, like I am a petty little bitch, like, but really, like, it was all self fucking induced. Like, it was drugs and alcohol and my divorce. And people were like hitting me up and they were like, yo, like, are you gonna do my tattoo today? And I would just ignore them because I'm just fucked off. And then it got to the point where one fucking person was like, I want my deposit back or I'm gonna fucking blow this bitch up. And so I sent her $100. That's all I had, $100. Sent her $100, and I was like, I'll send you another $100 by Saturday. I have another tattoo I'm doing. I'll give you your money back. And then I woke up one morning to my name blasted on Facebook that I'm a fucking broke bitch who drives a BMW and thinks he's rich. I'm a fucking scammer. I've scammed everybody out of their fucking monies. I don't have a license. Blah 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 blah.
How'd that feel?
Fucking terrible, because like I'm not that person. Like, it was not my intentions by any means. Like, I didn't take to invest $15,000 or so into a fucking place to get a $2,000 scam is the fucking worst scam in the world. That money went straight to rent. And so this blew up, and like I thought it was just, everyone's like, dude, it's gonna die down. Like, who the fuck cares? And it just blew up from past people that worked for me. Oh, fuck. I mean, everybody jumped on. My ex-wife jumped on the fucking comments. Everybody was on these comments.
She did.
And there was hundreds of comments about me. And then the news fucking contacted us being like, did you...
Oh my goodness. Like, they blew you up for the news to hit you up.
No.
Yeah. And they were like, did you scam people? And we like told them, like, you know, I fucking sold gift certificates to make it go by. And they're like, so you had like an actual place, like you had a business. I'm like, I had a storefront. I was not licensed. I was in the process of doing all this shit, but I sold gift certificates to pay my fucking bills. And now this is happening and I'm out. And so the news wanted nothing to do with it because they were like, it's just bad business. This was not a scam, clearly. And so after this is all going down, I clear that fucking shop out. I'm sick to my stomach. I don't know what the fuck to do. All I could think of is this reputation is going to follow me forever. My kids are going to know about this. Like, this is the most disgusting feeling I could ever fucking feel. And it's all my fault.
And how old were you then?
This was 7 years ago.
Okay.
And so all I knew what to do was to rebuild. That's all I could think.
So what'd you do?
So how the fuck do you rebuild when you fucked everybody over? Mm-hmm. Everyone thinks you're the villain. So what do? So I fucking had $20 to my name. My mom gave me $20. I took my 2 daughters and Kayla and I drove to Bellingham. And I went to my buddy's tattoo shop. He's the guy that he was my apprentice years ago. Mm-hmm. And I showed up and he's like, what the fuck are you doing here? I said, I need to fucking work. I put $20 in my gas tank and I bought $20 at McDonald's and that barely got me there. I had nowhere to stay, nowhere to sleep, no fucking idea what to do with my 2 daughters.
How old were they? 3,
somewhere around there. My oldest was like 9 or 10.
And where's your ex?
She's doing the same shit I was doing back home.
Okay.
Different relationship, trying to figure her shit out as well.
But not seeing the girls.
No, we did like a split custody thing. It was on, we still have no contact through all this and we're still talking. I was giving her money when she needed it because if I didn't, she was going to call the cops, blah, blah, blah.
So you get to Bellingham and then you start working for this guy.
So, but there's no work.
Okay. And then you don't have a house.
I have nowhere to fucking stay.
And it's not like you could be like, I'm at this new shop. Like, everyone come through because everybody on Facebook.
I mean, you have children, so you don't even know where you're going to sleep that night.
And that's what I was thinking. What the fuck am I going to do? So I told the owner, I said, yo, I can do rose tattoos in my sleep. Put up $100 for a rose outline. Guest artist in town, special, 1 rose outline for $100. And he's like, all right, puts it on there. I'm sitting at this shop for hours, nothing. And then people were like, oh, is he going to be there tomorrow? And I'm like, yeah, so we're doing this. And then finally, I get one fucking person that calls at 5 o'clock at night, says she wants to come get it done. She comes in and I fucking talk to her about what she wants done. She wants the rose, obviously. She wants a cover up. And I'm like, well, what's your budget today? Like, what are you looking to spend? She's like, well, I could do about 300. Boom. Yes. Fucking score. I'm like, this is going to get me a fucking hotel and feed my kids tonight.
Yes.
And so I do the fucking tattoo, get a hotel, get some food in our bellies, and we pack up that fucking hotel the next day, and we go back at it again.
How long did you do that for?
Fuck, that was like 3 or 4 months living in a hotel. Went through that, ended up getting an apartment, and then I found a tattoo shop. Saw this place, and it just like fucking, like, it was glowing. I was just like, that is the shop. Mm-hmm. And so the guy that I was working for, he was my old apprentice. I didn't want to like feel like I moved to Bellingham and then just like used him and dipped out. So I tried to involve him in this. Asked him what we should name it. He goes, you should name this Ruthless. He's like, because that's what my shop was in Vancouver that everybody knew about of the bad shit. And I was like, fuck, dude, that's going to pour some salt in some wounds. Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, but show those motherfuckers where you're at now. So I did open it up. Everybody wanted to fucking invest. I felt like a fucking celebrity and it wasn't not in a good way, like annoyed. Like everybody was just like wanting to be a part of this. And I didn't have the heart to say no. And so I was like, let people be like silent investors, a couple people. It was a perfect tattoo family. We were all just vibing. Like we're all making good fucking money. Everything was great. I kept building and investing into the shop the whole entire fucking year. We roll up onto our second year and things are starting to get a little rough. It's 2020 and we hit fucking pandemic. During this time, my financials were stable and I've been able to keep a good record of my finances now. I'm like, cool. My ex-wife that I spoke about, she had moved to Lake Stevens. Her and her dude that she was with after me had a similar altercation. And so she had to move away. So she had some family friends in Lake Stevens and she moved up here. The kids went to Lake Stevens School District and she wanted to meet up. She knew I had my shop. She knew I was doing better. Had my own apartment while she was struggling, could barely even get to Lake Stevens.
Don't you guys have like the restraining order?
Yep.
You guys always have it the whole time. I just have to make that clear.
Yes, we have this. And after it was already broke the second time, like it was held over my head to no matter if I didn't do what she said, then I'm going to jail. If she needed money and I didn't give her money, I'm going to jail. And no matter what, it was my fucking issue. It's always a situation. Mm-hmm. So she moves to Lake Stevens and she wants to make it known to our kids because we've been split up for this time for about, a year and a half, 2 years, I guess I would say almost a year and a half, 2 years. So she's like, I think I should come to Bellingham and we should go out to lunch with the kids and we should have a conversation, let them know that we get along now and we're civil. Because we were co-parenting decently. As decent I had to because we had a fucking no contact. So, I was her puppet. And so she comes up, we go out to eat and she orders a drink. I wasn't drinking at the time. And by the time she got into her second margarita, she starts getting irritable. And she says, so are you done with this fake life? Are you ready to kick out your girlfriend and take your family back, be a man, and kick your girlfriend out of your fake little life and move your family in because we're sleeping on a fucking couch? And like that shit hit me like hard, you know, like fuck, I'll give up my happiness. I don't want my kids, you know, like, do I want her back? Fuck no. Do I want my kids sleeping on a couch and being miserable? That's a bigger no.
Yeah.
You know, I could sacrifice my happiness for my children. That was my thought. And so I go back in the shop and it's just like fucking hitting me. Like, I mean, my kids are sleeping on a fucking couch. And like, am I being selfish? Like, this is my fault. This is how I felt for years. This divorce is my fault. Everything's my fault. And like, I feel fucking guilty. Like I am a shitty dad. I am a fucking weak man. I couldn't make this work. And so I went home that night to Kayla and she asked how it went. And I told her, and I was just fucking distant. In my head, I'm like, do I do this? Do I leave someone who's been by my side? Someone who's gave up their life for my happiness? Like that was my thought process. And I was leaning towards it.
How long went by before you made a decision?
So a couple days go by and we had each other on Snapchat for the kids' sake, apparently. Right? Yeah. So I write her on Snap and I was like, so what do you really think about this? Like, what is your thought process? And she didn't write me back for hours. And I'm checking this motherfucker because I'm like scared of her response in any way. So I finally get a response and she says, ha ha ha. Do you actually think I would be able to trust you again?
What?
Dude, the astonishing, like dumbfounded feeling. I'm like, you fell for it again, didn't you? Again. Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yes. And so I wrote her back, I'm taking you off Snapchat. I cannot do this anymore.
She was being for real at dinner. She wanted you back.
100%. And so come to find out that she met a guy online and that's why she didn't need me anymore. She didn't want me back and there's no fucking way she wanted me back. She was doing her own self-defense, you know, whatever you want to call it, for her. You know, she was trying to find her way in life.
Okay, so at what point do you think that she didn't want you back anymore?
5 years before that, when we were splitting up.
Was this before or after the donkey kicked the door down?
The boyfriend.
The boyfriend. So did you meet this boyfriend?
So I found about this guy and he was a super cool dude. He's down to earth. He was chill. He had no kids. He owned his own house. He made good money. She moved in 2 months or so after dating this guy. And I was like hesitant, but I'm like, you know what? I see what you see. The kids are not on a couch anymore and they have their own bedrooms. So this guy kicks out his roommates. So at this time, my kids are going to Lake Stevens. And so she's driving them from Granite Falls to Lake Stevens. This is right before 2020. And she's like bitching at me. And all of a sudden we need child support. She's like, well, because we can't do this driving back and forth. They're going to go to Granite Falls School District. And I'm like, wait. What if I move to Lake Stevens? What if I move there and then, you know, the kids can stay in the school district? You know, they've gone to just as many schools as I have at this age. I know how fucking traumatizing this is. And Lake Stevens is like a 7 out of 10 and Granite's like a 3 out of 10 for school ratings. And so I'm like, you don't have to do that. Well, at this time I was becoming a weekend father because they're in school and I didn't like it. And so I was like, I found a fucking house in Lake Stevens and I was like, I'm moving. This was in March of 2020 now. And COVID hits. Literally the day it was March 15th or 16th, I'm driving back from Vancouver. I'm signing almost another fucking deal for another shop down there because I was doing so well up here. I'm driving back. I had an option to take this fucking money and sign a lease and do all this that day. But something inside was like, be responsible. Don't take the money. Just wait until you get everything. And so I was like, yeah, we're going to start this in like May. Give me some time and I'll take the money then. We'll just do all the swaps in. So I'm on my way back up. Fucking radio's going on, and here comes Sir Inslee. Fucking shuts us down. We literally drive straight to Lake Stevens and get the fucking keys out of the little lockbox, and I'm like, I'm shut down. Like, you know, this fear of fail all over again. I just moved out of an apartment. I'm taking the right steps back into like life. You know, I'm doing super good, I guess, being better, and COVID shuts down. My savings is just dwindling down to nothing. But the positive side, I'm having my kids a week on, week off. Just like I wanted. And they're going to my school district. And then COVID school starts up and she starts hounding me for a divorce, because we're still married at this time. And I'm waiting for our no contact to end. And so as our no contact ends, I get divorced. Everything's going decent-ish besides our little fucking hiccups here and there. And I am slowly starting to drink again. And I had a problem with addiction obviously before being in Vancouver, strung out every fucking day. But I was like, this time's different. Like I'm just in a better headspace. You know, I'm happy in a relationship.
I've been doing well for so long. Like, I got this.
Yeah. 2022, I believe, I had issues with my shop up in Bellingham. There's a whole situation where I went to go to sell it. I was subleasing through a restaurant next to me. When that lease was up, right around Christmas time, I have no fucking money. I went through my savings to pay the shop bills and shit because they said it was just slow. And so I don't have any money. I called my buddy and I told him the story, what happened. He's like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, what are you gonna do now? I was like, I think I'm just gonna open a private studio. He's like, oh, he's like, well, if you ever think about doing like a shop, call me. And I was like, yeah, to be honest, after just the last incidents, I'm probably not going to. He's like, I can respect that. And so I'm shop hunting and found a place, and a super cool place. And this particular artist, you know, keeps touching bases with me. And he's like, you found anything? I was like, yeah, but it's too big for just me. And, you know, I don't have the money to revamp all this right now. And I was like, I'm just going to find like an office. Well, he's like, dude, let's go in on this together. And I'm like, well, I don't want a partner. And he's like, we won't be partners. Like, we both pay rent. We both just invest equal, blah, blah, blah. And I think we lasted like 6 fucking months together.
Oh my God.
Here I am once again, stuck again. And now I have the responsibility of $60,000, $70,000 a year just in overhead with my house and this studio.
Yeah.
And so I fucking dive in. I'm like, fuck it, I can do this. Like, I'm doing this. And so I did. I rebuilt it all, did everything I could. And I don't know if it's the economy or mainly my drinking that I just didn't give a fuck anymore. I just wasn't happy. I was miserable. I was miserable in my relationship. I was miserable co-parenting. Just everything in my life was shit. And, you know, I didn't really stop and look in the mirror and figure out what the issue was. And so I said, you know what? You need to get fucking sober. Like, that's what you need to do. Get sober just for 30 days. Stop fucking drinking. You cannot afford to even drink. If you can afford a fucking drink, you can afford to pay a bill. You can afford to do this. So I did. I stopped drinking. I was done. And I don't know why this that night. I went home. I woke up just like sick to my stomach. And I was like, I can't fucking keep living like this. Like, I can't. Like, this isn't fair to my kids. This isn't fair to nobody. Like, you're miserable fuck is what you are. Like, I couldn't, it's to the point, like, to where I honestly couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. I would dodge every fucking mirror in my house because I was just disgusted in the way I look. Like, I could just see through my eyes. Like, you're just a miserable prick.
And then what was that the day you got sober?
That was the day I got sober. That was July 31st of last year.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
you're still sober,
we
so
are
good job.
8 months and some days sober.
Yay.
I haven't drank. I haven't done shit.
Yes.
Smoke weed.
How do you feel?
I feel fucking amazing, to be honest. I feel like I found myself. Like, I don't give a fuck about so much shit anymore. It was like the fame, the money, or what the fuck I have, or having the nicest car. Or like, it's my importance has changed. You know, it's my children. It's me. Like, you know, I need to be happy. You know, I feel like when I was coked out and drunk that I was funny and everybody loved that Branden. And that's why I did it. Like, I was comfortable and everyone loved me. And so now I feel like I found that guy without drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
Like, where people are like, dude, you are funny. Dude, you are cool. And it's like, yeah, you know what? I guess I'm not bad. And like, it's just nice to like actually like love myself. Obviously, every day I'm working and every day is a fucking struggle.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still struggling with fucking finances, still pulling myself out of this fucking hole for the millionth time. But I'm going to do it this time. And like last time when I quit and I got sober, it wasn't like I'm done. It was like I'm taking a fucking break.
Right.
And this time I said I wasn't done. I need to take a break. Well, after fucking 60 days, I was like, your break is fucking indefinite.
Damn.
Like you're
That's big.
yeah, I can't drink.
Yeah. How do your daughter like you sober? Do they talk about it at all?
Definitely, yeah. So like I'm more open to it than we talk about things now, and I'm more present, you know. Anyways, I gotta have a talk with her about, you know, how, you know, my father was, you know, an alcoholic, whether he wants to admit it or not. You know, my mom has addictions on other ends of not substances, but I think on different things of, you know, acceptance and shit like that. And I have an addiction with drugs and alcohol, and her mom has an addiction. And, you know, I gotta explain to them, like, you know, you have to watch out for this. I was never taught that, you know. My dad still will say, I'm not a fucking alcoholic, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, damn, I'm really proud of you because both my parents were alcoholics, are alcoholics as well. My mom's sober now, like for 10 years or something, but my dad still drinks sometimes. But I was raised by two, and I know how it is, and I know the disease very well. So, and I know how hard it is to quit and to continue to like not drink. Congratulations to you. That's big time for like people don't understand how hard it is to quit drinking, really, and doing drugs. But you can do it. You did it, Branden. If Branden can do it,
Yeah, I think
If this fuck. I just think that we're a lot of us are afraid to like see reality for what it is, or alcohol just is a good suppressant.
yeah.
When taken in these doses, you
Right.
know, I don't think it's a problem unless it becomes a problem. And here we are now.
here we are.
Well, I mean, I appreciate you telling your story. I am proud of you, though, with who you are today and the father you are and boyfriend. And I think you're a great guy.
Thank you.
We do ask all of our guests at the end what resilience means to them. So, Branden, what does resilient mean to you?
Resilience means to me, it is somebody or something that has gone through something and still comes out. That doesn't give up. You know, you're resilient to a situation, you know.
You.
Yes, me. I'm resilient as fuck. Thank you guys very much for having me.
Yeah.
I
Thank you
definitely
for being
appreciate
here,
it.
and thank you for being open.
Wait. Oh,
What?
keep
Yeah,
going.
no, just thank you for being open and as honest as you could be. There are some stories that I wish you told that you didn't, but it's fine. I get it.
Well, in the future,
Maybe
Another
can
time when we get
slowly
those
introduce-
tattoos.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's time for trivia.
Hey, they have buns, they have bods, but do they have brains? He has buns, he has a bod.
And he has a brain.
Yes, well, does he? We'll find out. It's time to find out with Hot Seat Trivia. Alex Fresh, Branden Gray, one baddie will bring her body out of the room while the other baddie attempts to answer as many trivia questions as she can in 60 seconds. Or he can.
Or he.
Sorry.
It's
This
fine.
is all written out for one baddie, okay?
Yeah.
Your first answer is the only answer, so think before you speak. And if you don't know an answer, pass. And if you have time, we'll come back at the end.
Dope.
After the first baddie goes, we'll switch and see who comes out on top.
Let's do it.
All right, this is Hot Seat Trivia. Bring your body, out.
All right, I'll
Alex.
be back. Holler for me.
All right, Branden, you said you're not good at trivia, right?
Yeah, I told you. Thanks,
Do you watch a lot of documentaries? Because, you know, the documentaries be like...
murder documentaries a little bit?
Okay, you might know
I
a
might
little
get one?
something. You might get one. Okay, so I have 60 seconds on the clock. I'll start the timer
right.
once you answer the first question. What was the first state in the United States?
Fuck. I'd pass.
What's the smartest animal?
House cat?
Who was the first Disney princess?
Cinderella?
What 3 states border California?
Oregon and Nevada?
One more.
Florida?
How many girls were in Destiny's Child total?
4?
In football, how many points do you get for a touchdown?
6?
What does CEO stand for?
CEO? Oh my gosh, I know this. Pass for now.
What do you call a group of stingrays?
A pod?
What is the most common favorite color in the world?
Red.
How many stars do we have on Apple Podcasts?
I don't know. What do you mean by stars?
Like our rating.
Oh,
Yeah.
5?
Okay. Last one. What does CEO stand for?
Fuck, I cannot think of it. I know what it is
Alrighty.
too.
I didn't know what it was, but now I know. All right, Alex, come on in.
Excuse me.
Oh, hello.
Right, she's
Sorry.
back.
Back and better than ever. All right, oh, you can stay in here.
No, you can stay in here. Alrighty. I have a minute on the clock.
Okay.
I'll start it after you answer the first question.
Get it.
What was the first state in the United States?
New York.
What's the smartest animal?
Horse.
Who was the first
Dolphin.
Disney princess?
Belle.
What 3 states border California?
Oregon, Nevada, Arizona.
In football, how many points do you get for a touchdown?
6.
How many girls were in Destiny's Child total?
3.
What does CEO stand for?
Chief Executive Officer.
What do you call a group of stingrays?
A pot of stingrays.
What is the most common favorite color in the world?
Blue.
How many stars do we have on Apple Podcasts?
4.8.
Wow. She went through that. She has 14 seconds to spare.
Oh, shit.
You want to answer more questions?
I don't know if I got even half right, but I
right.
answered them.
Let's go over the answers. All right. What was the first state in the United States? You both got it wrong.
What is it?
I said nothing because I don't even fucking know.
And
You didn't
said,
say nothing?
said pass.
There's 50 something.
I didn't want to say the wrong one.
And you said
I
New
did.
York. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely wrong. Delaware was the first state in
Fuck
the United
Delaware, and
States.
I knew that. That's stupid.
What's the smartest animal? You guys are both wrong. You said a horse. You said a house cat.
Yeah, house cat's smart as fuck.
What is it?
Evil as fuck. A chimpanzee.
Oh, shit.
Who was the first Disney princess? You both got it wrong. Nobody got points yet. You said Belle. You said Cinderella. It's actually Snow White.
Fuck a Snow White.
We love the Snow White. No.
Branden does.
What?
What 3 states border California? Alex, you got your first point. Nevada, Arizona, and Oregon. Florida does not border
You said
California.
Florida?
I was just fucking panicked.
It's like on the opposite
I know
side.
it's down.
I'm dying.
Oh, God.
I panicked.
1 point, Alex. In football, how many points do you get for a touchdown? You both got it right. 6
Yes.
points, so 2-1. How many girls were in Destiny's Child total? You said 4. You said 3.
You're right.
There was actually 6.
Oh, what the fuck?
I knew that was a trick question when you
It's a
said
trick
it.
question because a bunch of them got kicked out. 3-2. 3-2. Well,
No, 2-1.
oh, 2-1. 2-1. All right. What does CEO stand for? Chief Executive Officer.
Did you get that
I
right?
couldn't even
Brandon?
fucking think of it.
Oh, shit.
At all.
3-1.
Okay, cool.
What do you call a group of stingrays? You both got it wrong. It's a fever.
A fever.
What did I say? A pod.
You did?
Yeah.
That's
I said
funny.
a pod.
I said a pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said a
You
pod.
said a pod of stingrays.
A
but
pot of
yeah.
stingrays.
It's a fever.
That's hilarious.
Fever.
Oh, yeah.
All right. What is the most common favorite color in the world? You said red, Brandon.
And I said-
Alex said blue, and it's blue, even though red's a better color.
Boom! No, blue is a better color
Red's a
for
better
sure.
color. It's more stunning.
Blue's better.
Okay. So 4-1. How many stars do we have on Apple Podcasts? We have a 4.5, so make sure you go and rate our podcast. Give us 5 stars. Come
Oh
on.
shit!
So we
It's
can
a
get up to
4.8 on
4.8.
Spotify. Dang it!
Yeah, I said Apple Podcasts. No points. All right. So Alex,
You're rough.
Alex 3 points, 4 points. Alex 4
4.
points. Brandon 1 point.
It's okay.
I should feel like I should get a handicap though because I am the guest. So
You still severely lost.
Still lost.
We'll give you a freebie point.
all right.
We'll give you a point. So 2-4. So you still
2 to 4.
lost.
Yeah, that's a 50%. In my
Damn.
books, that's good.
2 out of 10.
All right. Well, better luck next time. All right, and that does that. So
Yeah.
make sure to go follow us on all the platforms
All of
and
them.
YouTube because we're doing it on YouTube
Yes.
at Resilient AF3. You can also follow us individually. I'm at that Dreas.
I'm at BennettKnows.
I'm at Branden Gray.
Branden underscore Gray.
Gray.
But if you can't find him, just go find me and then you'll find him.
There you go. Peace.
Bye.
Have a
guys.
good week.